You ain't driving, are you?
I steer a little, but the reindeer do most of the work.
This is my 4th year as a Santa. How about you?
I started the whole damn thing.
Doc? I don't have anything to say to you, boy.
You were there. You did those things.
I'm an American. You've no right to come here and say these lies about me.
I have your fingerprints. I have your photographs.
What do you want?
I want to hear about it. Everything.
My children found this baby alone by the river.
This child is special.
This baby will not destroy me.
Find the child!
Time is running out.
This Organized Chaos podcast is brought to you by listeners like you. Thank you. Hello, and welcome to another Organized Chaos podcast. If I can get through the words, you know you're watching the best podcast in the history of all existence. We always one-up ourselves, and it's always...
stuttering and stumbling free.
Wait, who are you? What? Huh?
Ooh.
I didn't know someone else was... Oh, god damn it, Bobby's here again. Shit.
Yes.
Well, we'll still have to make this the best podcast ever, even though you're here.
Yeah.
How you doing, Bobby?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm tired. Work is exciting. This week is crazy. My daughter literally got scheduled for 3 concerts this week within like a week, and I'm like, I just have to keep up at this point.
What type of concerts? Is it like a choir performance?
I think it's a choir. Like one's a cello, one's like a Glee Club style thing, and then one is a vocal performance. And she did the vocal performance yesterday. Now I think it's a Glee Club thing today, and then I think the cello thing is Thursday. But it's like, oh my god.
So please tell me she's like performing like, the ministry for the Glee Club performance, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Awesome. That'd be great.
But no, that'll be great. But yeah, it just felt like it all popped up like within like a week, and it's like, oh my god.
Oh god, man. Well, hey, no, that's awesome that she's like definitely got an interest in music and performance. That's great.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I guess that's not a great segue into what we're covering. I don't know. I guess Violent Night definitely has some musical stuff to it, so...
Well, it does show one kid that's like that, and one that's not.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah...
kids in that movie.
We will definitely be covering Violent Night, and after that, we'll be covering the lighthearted romp of the podcast, and as, of course, Apt Pupil.
Yep.
Which will also relate to one of the news stories we're talking about, which, it's not a very well-constructed news story. We're just going to be, like, researching and riffing off stuff we're seeing.
Yeah, and it's mostly more or less like a preface for the second film that we're going to cover.
Yeah, for Apt Pupil. Yeah, it's, yeah.
Since we're talking
it's also a constantly it's a constantly changing story, yeah.
Yeah, and we might as well address said elephant in room.
What, Kanye?
Lack of a better way. Well, yeah. Yes, let's for starters. Kanye, yes.
Well, we will. But the last movie we'll be covering is 1988's Willow. I believe it was 88. Is that right? 87? 88? God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yes, the original Willow, we are getting that watched to get ready for the series that just came out. And apparently now everybody's upset because there's a gay couple in that series, but I will find out.
What does that matter?
It doesn't. But these people all scream about it. Okay, it's 88. Shit? Yeah, it's like, yeah, no, I don't. I genuinely don't. And they all just scream. They're like, we're not homophobic. And I'm like, stop screaming about it then, because I don't care.
And they're the ones calling liberals and Democrats snowflakes.
Yeah, no, they are the biggest snowflakes
I almost feel
ever.
Provoked just to turn to them and look, fuck your feelings.
Yeah. No, if you're gonna freak over every time something like this happens, get over it.
Watch it.
Exactly.
just go watch Delta Force 6.
Yeah. There's plenty of films in the Chuck Norris filmography you can dive into that I'm sure you haven't seen.
was Chuck in the sixth one?
I don't know.
Is there a sixth one?
I don't know. Oh, there's 28. There's 20.
Oh, really?
That'd be insane.
They all have insane tomato scores. Not that means anything.
24 has a 98%.
Well, again, that means anything.
But yes. Before we get to
yeah, freshness score doesn't determine whether or not I'm gonna watch it.
No,
I have my own opinion I need to formulate.
Yeah.
Usually I gain that off of just watching the trailer.
True. But we got news to get to. So the first piece of news is it's actually the sad one. Christine McVie, Fleetwood Mac, died at the age of 79. I don't know. I know when I found out there wasn't any word on if a cause of death was released, and right now I'm looking to see if there's been an update. Died peacefully at the hospital in the company of her family. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, I haven't read any other updates on it.
I mean, she 79's not young, so let's look up out of curiosity, what songs did she write for Fleetwood Mac? I know she did write I think it's pretty much as far as songwriters on Fleetwood Mac, the biggest songwriters were her, Lindsey Buckingham, and Stevie Nicks. So she was probably about a third of their biggest songs.
Mick Fleetwood, just because the man's a tower.
Well, that's the thing. Mick Fleetwood actually didn't write that much for the band.
Yeah, he really didn't. The band's named after him. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was one of the founding members, and then the people who wrote a lot of the big hits came later.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Fleetwood, we shouldn't overlook the Peter Green years. That's just me personally speaking.
Okay, let's see. Top 10 Christine McVie Fleetwood Mac songs. All right. Love in Store from Mirage, Songbird, Think About Me, Little Lies. Oh, yeah, that was a big hit. Over My Head. Hold Me was pretty big. Say You Love Me, pretty big again. You Make Loving Fun. Everywhere. Oh, and Don't Stop, yeah. So those are just the songs she either co-wrote or wrote by herself.
She also did a lot of... I know she did a few recordings with Lindsey Buckingham, even outside of Fleetwood.
Oh, yeah, no.
2017 album together.
Yeah, no, there's actually a funny story behind that, because Lindsey Buckingham was getting together with Fleetwood Mac and saying, hey guys, we should do a new studio album. And Christine McVie was saying, hey, I got some cool stuff for a studio album too. We should do a studio album. They're trying to get the rest of Fleetwood Mac involved, and nobody else is excited. And they're like, but we got stuff to work on. We got stuff we want to do. And they're like, eh. And then eventually they just did an album by themselves.
Oh.
It was at least they got their stuff out.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, it's just kind of a funny story, because they were like, God, we haven't done a Fleetwood Mac album, and wow, we should do a new one, and just no one else wanted to do it. It was just the two of them.
I mean, I will say I got to give Lindsey credit. I mean, it's got to take a lot of maturity to be in a band and with your ex, someone who you'd spent years of your life with, and then perform songs that she wrote about you.
Well, he wrote songs about her too, so it wasn't completely one way.
Yeah, it wasn't. They did write songs about each other that were not.
Yeah,
flattering.
You get to perform this. Well, you get to perform this. Yeah, that's,
fine. We're opening with this tomorrow night. Yeah. That's my hometown. I'm aware.
But yeah, Fleetwood Mac was definitely a band where there was lots of relationships involved. I'm pretty sure Christine McVie actually joined with her husband, who I don't think stayed with the band long.
He was
but
the bass player. Yeah. bass player, yeah.
And then, of course, Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks came in as a pair, so...
Yeah.
But, yeah...
Well, I know the story of that, or I'd heard the story of it. I guess Stevie and Lindsey were both recording a album together, like their demo album. And they were at Sound City Studios in Los Angeles. And they were in Studio B working on some other stuff. And I think Lindsey went by Studio A, and he heard their stuff on there, and he just walked in and he saw this giant dude just like, kind of just bobbing and just really getting into it to the demo of If You Don't Love Me Now, and he's just kind of mimicking the drums of what he would be playing. That dude was Lindsey Buckingham.
Yeah,
that's kind of how they met.
Nice.
And it's like, this is a great song, I'd love to play on it, we should record it. So that's how I heard they met. So that's cool.
Well, yeah. Well, Fleetwood Mac is a legendary band.
A legendary band.
Christine McVie will be missed. Now to the story that kind of relates to the second. Yeah, the second movie doesn't relate to Christine McVie, but does relate to this.
First story does, and the following story really kind of ties it together in a ugly bow.
Yeah.
The jury for the January 6th committee actually has made a conviction, Bob.
Oh, really? What'd they say?
Yeah. Well, they convict some of the Oath Keepers leader and one other to seditious conspiracy. The Oath Keeper leader, or the far right group, they're guilty of conspiring against the federal government as a part of the 6th of January attack on the U.S. Capitol. I'm trying to read exactly where it is. This is via ABC News. But they convicted the Oath Keepers leader. Like, he is one of the first to see charges of this, and face serious time.
Oh, wow.
Not that anyone else hasn't been, but, like, they got him. Yeah, they both, let's see here. An associate. Stuart Rhodes, a Yale Law School graduate turned militiaman, was convicted of the most serious charge, seditious conspiracy, following sprawling 2-month trial in federal court. It wasn't the January 6th committee. This is federal court. In Washington, 3 days of jury deliberations. An associate, Kelly Meggs, also found guilty of seditious conspiracy in the first such convictions by a jury since 1995.
Oh, wow.
They both could face a maximum of 20 years in prison for that charge alone. So just for seditious conspiracy, that's 20 years in prison.
Jeez.
Federal prison. That's about as much as it's reported on, or is what I'm reading right now.
Yeah.
Lawyers are appealing. I fucking would too.
Oh, of course they are. But
well, I mean, I wouldn't be that stupid to commit that level of treason.
But yeah. In other news, Kanye West, or Ye West, is on his tour to see how quickly a person can.
Ye.
Yeah, I think he's Ye. He's on his tour to see how quickly he can burn down his career. Well, I think he
started with some anti-Semitic comments that did he say it
some. Yeah, there's a lot.
Well, it started with little jabs and barb here and there. And I mean, it started with that, like way back before he got those two cronies in the picture there. Yeah, and it kind of quickly escalated after that. Then he went on the right-wing media circus tour, going from everywhere from Fox News with Tucker Carlson to Tim Pool
Yeah.
Alex Jones.
Well, he walked out on Tim Pool, and my first thought was because Tim Pool wasn't willing to name the Jews specifically as being evil or something.
He wasn't, and he also wasn't willing to like entertain the rhetoric either.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Tim Pool's a hardcore fence sitter. He courts the right-wing audience. Like, that is his bread and butter. But he likes to play this game like, oh, I'm just a sensible centrist. Which, yeah, he's not. But,
no, I remember we talked about him a while ago.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I will say, like, I will give him credit. He's not allowing that to go on. I will give him that.
Well.
Yeah.
To my understanding. Well.
He's placating, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Ye apparently walked out. And according to Ye, I'm calling him Ye because I guess try to respect his name choice. Yeah. He walked out because Tim Pool called him Kanye. And I was just like, wow, I just assumed Ye was like a nickname. Is calling him I always assumed Kanye was like his regular name and Ye was a nickname. It'd be like me walking out when I'm called Robert. Yeah. It's like, really? Like, is Kanye like his dead name now? What the hell is Kanye?
In all fairness, I would too, but well, we've had this conversation before.
But yeah, no, he went on Alex Jones wearing a mask. No, it was funny. We were watching clips of the Alex Jones thing, and my mom walked in, and she was like, the lighting in Alex Jones' office is really bad. It looks like Kanye's wearing a mask.
No, he actually
It's like, no, he's wearing a mask. And it was like, oh, wow. Yeah, yeah.
And I know he's appeared in another interview like that before, so that's like not a first. But I don't know. I truthfully think, I'm going to cite his health.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely is that, but I don't feel he has anyone around him willing to or wanting him to get help. They're just still riding the gravy train and exploiting him. I think those two jackasses are exploiting him for their own gain, which is sickening.
And absolutely. The two jackasses, if you're listening, it's a picture of Kanye and his presidential entourage, I guess you would call them.
Yeah.
Milo Yiannopoulos and Nick Fuentes, which as of less than 24 hours ago, Milo Yiannopoulos was amicably released.
Good.
They're both awful. Like, if you don't know about Nick Fuentes, he's essentially a white supremacist who is a Holocaust denier and pretty much all the negative crap. He's the same thing.
He started rising in his circles around the Charlottesville protests, and that's where a lot of his rhetoric, his neo-Nazi fascism ideals, he voiced them. Yeah, I kind of have a hard time because I really want to punch both of them in the mouth.
Oh yeah,
be fascist, like just no.
Well, and then if you're not familiar with Milo Yiannopoulos,
I'm well aware.
Fuck yeah, he's ex-gay. He used to be a gay conservative that they would like to trot around. Yes. Yeah.
A conversion camp therapy or a conversion therapy success story. Puppet Up the Right, I believe.
Yeah. Who still goes off incredibly gay vibes. Just saying.
because of course it's a choice.
Sure. Yeah, no, these people are ridiculous.
These conservatives really are something, aren't they?
Yeah, no, if he wasn't a complete grifting piece of shit, it would be like, oh, let him make his own choice. But he's a grifting piece of shit, so I don't care.
No, they both are, and I mean, in regards to Ye, like, I think obviously that I could see him not coping well with his divorce. Spending a lot of time in isolation. Cutting himself off from people who do care about him and just getting stuck within his own head. And obviously, he's also been someone who's been diagnosed bipolar.
Yeah, and he's made it very clear that he does not take his medication, which, Jesus Christ, dude, take your medication, I swear to God. Please. Yeah. There's a reason why you're prescribed it.
Yeah, there's a reason why, and I don't know. There's a conversation with a Kanye fan, or I'm sorry, a Ye fan that I was talking with about him a while ago. Well, this is before all this, like just post-divorce, before he kind of started showing signs of, maybe a slip was happening. I was saying, like, maybe he should, if he doesn't take his meds, he says it blocks his creative flow. Well, then the only reason he doesn't do it is to keep his own fame and greed going. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't care about his own self. That probably, if he started to care about his own self, he would have a better life healthily, and he wouldn't need the medication. But, I mean, I don't think I'd want that. He wouldn't be putting music out for us then. I stop and look, and I go, he's not there to entertain you. He owes you nothing.
Yeah.
He owes you nothing.
Yeah. He's already released music. He doesn't actually owe you anything more. He didn't owe you what he did. I'm not
even a fan of his music at all, but I look at that way as all artists. They don't owe us anything.
Yeah, no.
They've given us the gift of their music and their art alone. That is the gift. Mm-hmm. That is. If they choose to continue to do it, that is just a further blessing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the way it is, but yeah. He's gone
blown away
insane.
By that. Like,
yeah.
I was just so blown away by that. And this was a younger person too, so I was just kind of, wow.
Yeah.
Is it? And I remember thinking, is this a transition of me going to like the younger guy to the get off my lawn guy?
Yeah. No, well, you do see that a lot. Like, I think probably where I see it the most is...
I haven't graduated to old man yells
at yet. Where I see it the most is unrelated, really. But where I see that type of attitude the most is definitely with George R.R. Martin, where they're like, he needs to finish his books. He needs to finish his books. But, like, at the same time, I'm like, I understand you want him to finish the books. It would be nice if he finished the books, but, like, he's allowed to do what he wants with his time. He's allowed to...
George R.R. Martin is allowed to take as much time as he wants to in it.
Yeah.
That means he's going to make it better than what our expectation is at this point.
Yeah.
Which he even said at this point, when like the show got past where the books were, he said, I've given them a rough timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Some things that need to happen, and when they need to happen. The stuff in between, I kind of just told them to do. And fill in as need.
Yeah.
But there's some things that happened, and, they did just ask for a final list of survivors, and I gave them that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And yeah, we will, he either does it or he does. Yeah. He owes his, I know the fans are like, he owes it to us, but he doesn't. He genuinely doesn't.
Oh, I'm also sure that there's like several other series of like, science fiction or other sorts of like works of literature that were all done by one author, and then the author passed during the middle of the series.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, it's happened, and someone else took over, and it was all right.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue Star Trek. When was Gene not behind the helm?
Oh, well, I mean, honestly, he went back and forth behind the helm. He was kind of in the helm of season 1 of TOS, and then kind of other people started taking over. And then he was behind the helm largely for the first movie, and then other people started taking over when it got like really expensive. and then it was the same thing essentially with TNG. He was really behind the helm for the first season, and then other people started taking over when it just wasn't working. So, like, yeah.
Oh, I guess bad example, but...
Well, yeah, but, it happens. Gene Roddenberry's a mixed case, but yeah, I guess
he is.
We aren't covering Star Trek, so I guess maybe we should just artfully and delicately segue to Violent Night.
Yes.
Was that
yes.
smooth? I don't know.
That was smooth. That was
yeah,
good.
I didn't notice anything. No. Gene Roddenberry's Violet Night. No, wait, I got that wrong.
I thought this theme seemed familiar.
Yeah, no. But yeah, this is genuinely like a delightful movie. I don't know how else to describe it. This was so much fun.
This was just a lot of fun for the theater, too.
Yeah. It's a great movie to take the family.
There were like a few dads and their kids
to
this one. But I went to an early showing Sunday, so it was an interesting turnout.
Mm-hmm.
Not too many people in the theater, but again, there were some moments in this that had like a pretty violent, gory death in it.
No, it's a very violent movie.
Yeah, it doesn't they don't, that title does not undersell.
No, it's a very violent night. No.
Very violent movie, yeah.
The basic premise, the movie trailer tells you the basic premise. It's more about the spirit, but the basic premise: a family is kidnapped for Christmas. Santa Claus just ends up there and has to fight off the terrorist.
Happens to be at that exact house at that exact moment.
Yeah. So yeah, we will be spoiling it, but like, I would say go watch it. But it's an experience too, so it's not like you're losing too much. But like, it does introduce some cool ideas. Like, I like the idea of like Santa Claus, like in a previous life, he was like some sort of like Viking or something. Yeah, he was
with a warhammer of death.
named Skull Crusher. He talks about how he's killed hundreds of people, and like
he's like, there's this great thing. I had it really good. If I had them all lined up on the same, I could take out 3 guys in one swing.
Yeah. So like
that was something I was the only one laughing at in the theater.
No, like for to take out these terrorists, he just has to tap into his past life, essentially. No, and
it was fairly easy for him too.
Oh yeah. Once
I gotta say, I'm happy that candy cane came back into play as I knew it would when they showed it.
Oh God, yeah.
I was like, God damn, that's a huge candy cane. And then thinking, he's gonna stab the shit out of somebody with that.
Yeah, the candy cane shank he makes.
Oh my God.
It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, the cast also has a lot of surprises when you're watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was a lot of moments when I was watching this going, hey, I know I recognize you from this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the first one was the dad of the first family we meet. I was like, hey, it's some, what's his name? The Invisible Cunt. That guy.
Oh, you're right. From that newer Invisible Man movie, right?
No.
No?
He was from,
The Boys. Okay, now I know her. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now I remember him. Yes. Yeah.
I couldn't remember his hero name, but I could only remember what
Translucent
referred to him as.
Yeah.
I was like, the Invisible Cunt.
I did not place him at all. Like, obviously we got.
It was his first surprised expression that he gave in there, and I was like, hey, I know you. Also, the sister plays. She's on the Righteous Gemstones. She plays Danny McBride and Adam Levine's like a sister in the show.
Oh, okay.
And she is a very similar character, but just hilarious. No, very similar, but so funny.
Well,
I love the stuff with her because that's her shtick in the show. And
really?
It's funny. Well, it's funny. You should watch it if you have not.
I have not. Well, obviously, the trailer gives away. Obviously, got David Harbour as Santa Claus, and I kind of love his portrayal of Santa Claus. He's just
Me too.
Like magical stuff just keeps on happening, and he's like, yeah, it's a Christmas magic thing. I don't understand it.
I still don't fully understand it.
Yeah, just almost everything.
I never fully understood it.
Well, I just reach in and just grab out presents. Yeah, I don't understand it either.
I don't know how it works.
it just does that. I don't know. Yeah, and he's great. He's just like he's introduced at a bar, and he's just kind of pissed at capitalism, just getting drunk.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
And then the other big cast member is John Leguizamo, is obviously the villain. And I kind of love...
Not the old... Well, I mean, not big star anymore, but the mother of the...
I haven't gone, because that's one I did not know was coming. But yeah.
Sorry, continue.
But yeah, you get to meet John Leguizamo, and he has the tragic backstory of he accidentally kills a family member. Yeah, he accidentally kills a family member during Christmas, and it's like, oh, that's dark. He's like, I hate Christmas. Oh, I fucking hate it. And yeah, he finally gets convinced that it's Santa Claus, so he starts being like, I'm gonna kill Santa Claus and end Christmas motherfucker. Yeah,
Christmas
he is like,
oh, I lost
giddy about it. It's like, oh, this is great.
Like this is everything I wanted this to be.
No, they were both great, but yeah. The one you're talking about, the mother, like, they were talking about her so much before she popped up. It's like, okay, this has got to be someone I'm probably going to recognize.
Yeah.
And then they pop.
Funny is you quickly walked past frame in the hallway where we didn't see her. And I was like, oh, wait.
That's kind of familiar.
I was like, wait a minute. I know that voice. Who is that? And then she came in. I go, fucking Beverly D'Angelo.
Yeah. I was like, oh, shit. It's Oh, I can't even think for her first name. Mrs. Griswold, but
Mrs. Griswold.
Yeah,
Helen Griswold.
Helen, yes.
Helen, are you smoking again?
Mm. And yeah, she is such a bitch in this movie.
I love it. I kind of love it.
She's like super rich, and she has her children competing essentially for her affection, and the daughter and the son-in-law are all just fucking sucking up to her, and the first family, which is her...
I think it's boyfriend.
Oh, is it boyfriend?
I'm pretty sure it's boyfriend.
But then you also have the first family where he's just kind of done with it. He just...
Yeah, he's over it. He's over all of the Christmas stuff. He's over all of that. He's over all of his family's crap. He's just done. He wants out. And the only way out that he could see is stealing the money.
Yeah. So the terrorists are there to steal the money. But unfortunately, the son already has done that, which is a nice twist.
That was a nice twist. I did like that.
So, like, when she's describing, like, once she's kidnapped, she's obviously very wealthy. She's like, there's going to be an extraction team already on the way to save me. Like, I knew the extraction team would be in on it. I was actually semi-expecting it to be a thing where John Leguizamo was like, yeah, I'm actually the extraction team. It wasn't quite that, but yeah.
I was waiting for that, or at least maybe they would show him on the radio with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like them on the radio, but, maybe saying one name that we never hear, or like a name say through.
Yeah.
Because they did that check right before, and I was like, just trying to think, okay, was everyone accounted for in that?
Mm-hmm.
And nope, they're just in cahoots. They're going to walk right up and go, hey, buddy, hi, hey. And I go, oh.
Yeah.
Cool. Next scene, Santa, let's kill some more people.
Yeah. Well, one thing I do love is, obviously, he's got the Santa magic, and he can pull up the list. Every time, like, he has people to kill, he's looking up, okay, these are the people nearby on the naughty list. And then the extraction team comes to help out the terrorist, and he's like, you see all these names start filling up. He's like, oh, damn it.
I really like the first time that they apprehended Santa.
Yeah.
And they're trying to interrogate him.
Yeah.
And, he's like, look, Jimmy, I'm sorry. I don't get involved with people's lives. I just do things.
Yeah.
And it was just like, how did he know your name, Boss Bjorn? What has happened to you? And
yeah.
It's just, didn't I get you that Huffy bike that you wrote me 50 fucking letters?
Yeah.
And then the girl like, you made your brother eat worms. That's not even naughty.
Yeah.
Terrible.
No, it's this movie's just a fucking delight. I loved it.
This movie was a delight, like all around.
Yeah,
like, I thoroughly enjoyed this.
It actually had kind of a nice heart at the end, and
yeah,
it was just gratuitously violent. I would say it's like Die Hard if Die Hard was a Christmas movie, but it is.
What are you talking about? Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Exactly. So I guess this is like Die Hard if John McClane was fucking Santa.
Yeah, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Just
Yeah,
as
it
the first
is.
Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie.
Yeah. Well, the first two Die Hards are really Christmas movies, although I'm not thrilled with the second one. But yeah, no.
It's alright.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not Lethal Weapon 2.
It's not Die Hard 5, that's for sure.
It's not Lethal Weapon 2.
Oh, well, yeah, I remember really liking Lethal Weapon 2, but...
Yeah, I think 1 and 2 are like
yeah.
Lethal Weapon.
Well, the Lethal Weapons, for me, it's always a step down with each and every installment. It's like, yeah.
I say the step downs begin at 3.
Yeah, I think 2's not as good as 1, but I enjoy 2 quite a bit. But yeah,
2 introduces us to Joe Pesci's character.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying 2 is bad. I'm just saying I don't think it's as good as 1.
And I feel that it's a different character from 2 to 3. I like the character better from 2.
Oh yeah, no, there was a bit more of an edge to him, whereas 3 was where you're starting to get to the point where it's like it's
more
still
polished and comedic.
Yeah, it's still entertaining, but everybody's got like their character now instead of just being real people.
Yeah, exactly.
But on a side note, Violent Night. Oh yeah. What did you think of the Home Alone scene?
All her traps?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so we should kind of describe the trap as best we can.
Oh,
so
God.
It's a drop ladder from that's one that goes to an attic. If you're not familiar with this, usually bigger houses that have attics will have like a pole ladder or a hole in the ceiling where a ladder can come down and you can go up into your attic. In this, they see like a little mat with a bunch of nails on it. And right at the base of this ladder, and there's a nail in there. The thieves see it and they think, the thing about the traps is you have to hide them. The step below where the nail is, where presumably they will step, is broken.
Yeah.
So they go to step, more of them where their upper body is broken. They fall and get a nail right underneath their chin.
And it's completely gory. This is we essentially get a Home Alone scene with full R-rated gore where people are dying.
Yeah, we get to see some of the brutality of Kevin McAllister's traps.
Like we definitely have her rolling bowling balls into their heads as they're trying to climb up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of
just
great.
One, several. Oh. I'm pretty sure one was like, I heard a bone break.
Yeah. It was
falling from a shelf onto a trampoline, so not just like rolling them, like them bouncing with gravity. Ow.
So yeah. Obviously, if you see the trailer, this is definitely worth checking out. If you're interested in watching a Home Alone scene fully R-rated with lots of blood, you should definitely check this out as well.
But also getting your generic action film, but with a Christmas story, but get a great story and film with it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this. This is a Christmas classic, honestly. I'll probably get it and watch it next year.
Yeah, I'll probably pick up a copy.
Yeah,
it's that good.
It's fun, yeah. Are we ready to move on to Apt Pupil?
Yeah, let's dive into it.
All right. Well, I had never seen this movie before, so this was an interesting dive.
Me neither. Yeah, this was. So from what I understand, it was based off of a Stephen King story. Yeah. I can't tell when he wrote it or what King was going through, but in the story, Brad Renfro's character, he kind of takes an interest in this elderly man that lives in his neighborhood or in his town. He also is a very well-off student. He keeps up on his studies. He's, leading his class. But he also does a bit of homework, and he has a suspicion that this man is a former Nazi soldier. And his suspicion is correct, and he confronts him about it. And he pretty much says, look, I'll sell you out to Israel unless you tell me everything they don't teach me in school. So he wants an unfiltered look added is what he's after in this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, the man played brilliantly by Ian McKellen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have to say, though, this is probably one of my favorite Ian McKellen performances.
Oh, he's great here.
Whoa.
So upon watching this, one thing I thought was interesting, the idea behind it is almost like how Nazism is almost like a virus. Like, you have this kid who's kind of like, he's interested in it, he wants to dive into it, and then there's this old man who, honestly, at this point, I'm not sure how into Nazism he is. He seems like he's kind of just living his life. But then this kid is like, I want you to wear this Nazi costume I got, and the old man's like, I don't want to. And he's like, do it or else I'll report you. So he does it and he's like, march. And you see as he's marching, he's getting like more and more into it. He's getting more and more in touch with that part of himself. And then, essentially he slowly starts going full-fledged Nazi, and the kid is kind of already there and
kind of created a monster almost.
Yeah, and then there's
one rather.
Yeah, there's killings involved.
Yeah.
There's this homeless guy that played by Casey Jones in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. But
I recognized him immediately. I was like, hey, it's Elias Coyotes.
Yeah, he's there. He's obviously trying to see if he can get the old man to give him some money, or at least a place to stay. And then he knows the old man is acting weird, and he assumes he's trying to seduce him. And no, he's wanting to stab him, which he does.
Yeah.
And
he calls the boy.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's levels of blackmail, because at first the boy is like, hey, I'll report you to Israel if you don't show me your like Nazi ways, or tell me stories and shit like that. Because at first he doesn't want to, but after a little bit he gets into it. Then he turns it around and he's like, hey, I went ahead and wrote everything about you, and if I die, the bank vault's going to open and everything I wrote about you is going to come out, and everybody's going to know all your secrets and shit. And, that's got, it's like the kid's trying to be like a junior Nazi, and he's trying to manipulate this old school Nazi who doesn't want anything to do with it. But once he finally like awakens him, then he doesn't realize what he's messing with.
He doesn't realize like the true evil that this man is.
Yeah, because essentially that the homeless guy, he stabs him, he knocks him down in the basement. It's kind of assumed he's dead. And then the kid ends up in the basement and he's not.
Nope, he's still alive.
Yeah, and so the kid ends up having to kill him. So good fun. As you can tell, this is a lighthearted romp of a movie.
This is a very wild ride of a film.
Yeah. Another major character we get.
One thing I did notice, and this is off topic of it, but it's more so I notice this anytime I'm watching something and the director of this, his name pops up. Bryan Singer.
He's evil. Yeah.
And I noticed that he does do a lot of interesting choices with depicting scenes a lot, and especially with younger subjects.
Yeah.
You noticed that too?
Oh yeah. No, it's not super bad here, but there are moments like
not super bad here. No.
I would say the most obvious one being the shower scene.
I was more referring to the scene when he was being conflicted by, his thoughts at night and in his underwear.
Oh shit! Yeah. That was a choice. That was a choice.
It was.
So yeah.
But, another thing that is interesting about this to me, for me, is the fact that Brad, the lead actor, Brad Renfro, is he's no longer with us. Tragically, he took his own life some time ago.
Oh, I did not know that.
I'm sorry to be the one to.
I missed that looking into this shit.
Yeah. I want to say it was like, maybe mid 2010. Maybe.
I remember that being like a name that I recognized and being like, oh, I don't think I've seen him recently. Yeah, 2008, 25.
Yeah.
Drug overdose.
Yeah, tragically. But he's such a amazing talent of an actor.
Mm-hmm.
So tragic.
I was like, geez, I wonder why I haven't seen him recently, because like I remember that name and I was like, why haven't I seen him recently? It didn't occur to me to look him up.
Yeah. I do that because I had seen a movie from him in 2001 that was a true story, or like a film based off actual events, sort of thing. And I thought his performance in it was just so great that I wanted to find more of his work. And I want to see if he has anything coming out soon, if he's working on something. This being 2009 when I found this out.
Yeah.
And, it was kind of a bummer. Mm-hmm. But, that'd be a good one to bring onto the podcast sometime.
Which one?
That movie. Bully.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's one to keep in mind. We do have gaps coming up, which is weird. I think King Out Summer, yeah.
I guess summer. It's more of a summer film.
Sure. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, it kind of is.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's Larry Clark, so I mean, you're familiar with Kids, right?
No.
And that's another one we'll have to add to it then. Oh, we're gonna have some fun next summer then.
Yeah. But Bryan Singer is a questionable director.
Is a disgraced director.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's a bad man.
Well, it was he went on that Epstein tour with Kevin Spacey and Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's really cool.
No, it's not. It's very, very bad.
No, that's wrong.
I know there's lots of unverified flight plans that I don't take anywhere, but yeah, he, Kevin Spacey, and Chris Tucker are ones that are verified. Definitely did. So
yeah. And also that other guy, that other director. I forget his name, but he's the guy who did all the Rush Hour movies.
Oh, Brett Ratner. That seems familiar too.
Yeah, him. Mm-hmm. He's also a tool bag.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like that was my side note in regard to this film. I mean, other than the disgraced director, this is a great.
No, it's a very good movie.
I gotta praise the art. I will praise the art. Yeah.
No, it's great performances by McKellen and Renfro.
Yeah.
And also, like, I kind of have to bring this up just to get us to the ending. Yeah, because, we have David Schwimmer as a guidance counselor who he recognizes, I think Todd is the name of the main character. I'm 99% sure it's Todd, right? Yeah. He recognizes potential, but like he knows his grades going down ever since he's been hanging out with Ian McKellen. Of course, he doesn't know it's because he's been hanging out with Ian McKellen. He's like, straighten up your grades, and we'll then this little like rough patch won't matter. Just do me that favor. Just do that. And Ian McKellen promises to help him out, but obviously the kids already got him going down this dark path, and as Ian McKellen's going down the dark path, he's essentially dragging the kid with him. And eventually they do find out that Israel does find out about Ian McKellen, and they're gonna ship him out. So he kills himself. And the guidance counselor,
an oxygen line, and blows air into the lines.
Yeah. But the guidance counselor finds out, like it hits newspaper, that this guy is was a Nazi. And Ian McKellen, to help get the kid out of trouble, posed as his grandfather once. So the guidance counselor recognized him and went to Todd and said, hey, I got to tell your parents about this. Are they home? And, obviously not. But then the kid manipulates him, essentially doing Nazi shit, to get him not to say anything. So it's like, as you see Ian McKellen dying, you see the kid just manipulating him, and it's like, fuck, this shit just doesn't die.
Yeah, he manipulates him by like threatening him and, you know, blackmailing him into silence.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much a similar tactic to which they used politically to gain power in the late 30s in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, history.
Yeah. Well, it seems like the same thing they're trying to do now, except they've gotten to a point now where they're doing it so goddamn much that nobody listens.
Well, they're already doing it. They're already going to start doing it to our state.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Did you hear this?
Was it?
They are like DeWine is now pushing for the absolution of, or he's trying to, I think, dissolve the Board of Education and have it more government ran, like the state government will be running the Board of Education.
I can only good things can come of that. Right?
Yeah, sure.
It's a good thing.
Okay, all right.
Anything you want to cover on Apt Pupil before we head on to Willow?
Yeah, the only other stuff I would say to add to Apt Pupil would be obviously, you know, that thought process is a disease. It's bad, and you know, it's not good. And, you know, Nazis are bad. I shouldn't have to say that or explain.
Well, no, it's
any of that's bad.
It's crazy.
Bad. It's just fucking wrong.
No,
There's no defending the extermination of 6 million people.
Mm-hmm. Well,
there's none.
Mm-hmm. I think it is important to say that, though. There's nothing. Because Nazis exist, and lots of people are like, well, everybody knows it's bad. You don't have to say it's bad. Yeah. Well, I'm just letting you know how I feel about it. I'm letting you know if you're a Nazi and you're listening, I'm cool if you don't. I'm cool.
Yeah, I'm cool if you don't either.
Yeah, I'm not cool with you or your ideology.
Yeah, I'm not cool with you or your ideology at fucking all.
Yeah.
But I can't do anything other than tell you that I believe you are wrong.
Mm-hmm.
History. You will see what side of history you end up on.
Yeah. But
that's all. Yeah.
Definitely something lighter. We'll head off into Willow, 1988.
Yeah, something much more lighthearted.
Yeah.
The story of a reluctant hero.
Yeah. Willow, the title character, the main character.
This movie.
I
did thoroughly.
I forgot that Warwick Davis got the third credit in this movie too. I remember watching the credits go by. It's like, he's like the title character. It's not like it's like he's the title character, but he's someone that's talked about and you don't see till later. No, he is the main character.
Yeah, he is in this movie throughout.
Yeah, you are following his story.
Yeah.
No, this is just a fun fantasy movie. I remember going to the theater and watching this with my parents back in the day. God,
wow. Okay.
I was probably about 7. Yeah.
My first time watching it was for this show. So
well,
I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I did. Like, I really liked this movie a lot. The thing about, was I wording it? I was talking about how, you know, with this, I feel that the fantasy films are definitely something that I wouldn't consider falling under the category of like mainstream cinema.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I would call it fringe cinema, but, like, I would say things like, you know, like action movies, your romantic comedies, your children's fare, your dramas. Those are, like, what more mainstream cinema is like, you know? And then you'll have, like, your, you know, I wouldn't quite say fringe, or just, like, you know, the not mainstream stuff, your horror, your science fiction, your fantasies. You know, your offshoots of the mainstream. So this one is definitely one that flew under my radar for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I will say. But
yeah.
I really enjoy this movie, though.
Well, this was
I enjoy fantasy movies, but it always takes me a minute just to get into it. Like, really just get into the world, I guess, immerse myself with it.
Well, in the 80s, there's like this scattering of fantasy movies. Obviously, you got your Dragon Slayers, you got Skrull. Probably the biggest budget, probably before something like Willow, would be something like Excalibur. But yeah, there's some cool stuff in the 80s. What made Willow cool was that it was a George Lucas produced one, so it was Lucasfilm. It had a budget behind it. The effects for the time look great, and probably, like, even now they look decent, with probably the worst stuff being the blue screen for the brownies, which at times is a little questionable.
At times it looked bad.
Yeah.
At times it looked really bad. But still,
there are times where it actually looks good, though. It's mainly the times where they just, like, obviously had, like, giant stuff for the actors to be around.
Yeah. Well, still, though, like, I enjoyed the movie itself.
Oh, yeah. No, like, the data effects are obviously something you have to forgive it for when it was made. But yeah, there's, like, the transformation stuff that looks great.
Definitely. Well, there's some of the effects that I felt held up really great.
Oh, yeah.
Were the dogs.
Yeah, no, that's something.
It's a prosthetic on an animal.
Yeah, it looks. I assume it's some sort of costume on a dog, but it looks great.
Yeah, I presume they just put a dog in a Halloween mask.
That's what it looks like, but it looks great. It looks like some sort of otherworldly creature.
It did. It looked hideous as hell.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's ugly.
So I love this movie. This is one I grew up with, as I've already said. But yeah, it's kind of just a classic sci-fi movie for me. And something that was pointed out to me when I was a teenager, and I didn't even realize this, is how much this movie mirrors Star Wars. So you have Willow, the reluctant hero who's learning wizardry, who's Luke Skywalker. He meets a scoundrel who ends up having a heart of gold. Mad Mardigan is obviously Han Solo. Obviously, Source is your Leia stand-in, but it's a bit different with her because she's actually the daughter of the main villain, and
yeah. Still, like, I mean, accurate. But
yeah. But obviously you got the main villain, Bad Morta, who's obviously the Emperor, and she even has this general with this big evil mask, General Kale, who's obviously your Darth Vader.
Yeah, Krill. Yeah.
Krill. You have Billy Barty, the council, the village. I don't remember what they call him. It's not an alder man. Maybe just town elder. I think maybe.
Who that? The bald guy with the cat with the cane?
No, that's Burgle Cut. I'm talking about the wise man in the village, the wizard.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Billy Barty. I can't remember what they called him, but yeah, he's essentially your Obi-Wan Kenobi stand-in. And then he gets led to the Yoda stand-in, which is Finn Rizal. Well, I mean, it's also partially because Star Wars is so closely based on the hero's journey, and in effect, so is this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's.
I mean, almost any fantasy follows the hero's journey.
Yeah. Almost always. I will say. One thing that watching this movie made me realize is, I realized for the series coming up, and I'm excited to watch the series, is that they're probably going to kill off Mad Mardigan based on Val Kilmer's current health condition. And that's disappointing, because I really did like Mad Mardigan, and Val Kilmer, in my opinion, is a great actor.
He can't really do the role now.
No, he can't. He can't.
They could recast it.
And I won't want it recast, but I mean, it's just kind of sad.
Chris Pine.
Yeah, Chris Pratt.
No, not Chris Pratt. Chris Pine.
No, Chris Pratt will play him.
And he'll just do it in his normal voice, too.
Oh, God. No, I feel like every time they're theorizing some sort of recasting, it's always Chris Pratt. It's like, does it always have to be Chris Pratt? There are other Chris's, for God's sakes.
Next thing you know, they're going to do another Hunter S. Thompson movie, and Chris Pratt's going to play Hunter S. Thompson.
Oh, God. Oh, that would be awful. Now I kind of want to see it.
That would be so bad. That would be so bad. Oh, and I'm prepared to eat those words when that happens too.
And he's not even gonna try for the voice. He's not even gonna.
God, just please don't do Hell's Angels.
Oh God,
please don't do that one.
But yeah, this is just a classic sci-fi. Well, they're mostly really classic fantasy movie.
I would say that I dare say that in the realm of fantasy films are the ones that I have seen. Because I'm thinking about it more like I don't think I've seen too many.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen more bad cheesy ones than I've seen good ones.
Well, yeah, there's plenty of those ones too.
I mean, there's Wizards of the Lost Kingdom 1 and 2.
Ooh,
they're both bad. They're both bad. They're
well.
I've seen Camelot. I've seen Excalibur.
Camelot. Are you talking about the musical?
No.
There's a musical, Camelot. Yeah, I'm pretty 99% sure it's a musical.
Or no. Are you thinking of Spamalot? Because I've seen Spamalot.
No, Spamalot's a different thing.
It's a much better thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. No, Excalibur is what I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah, well,
Excalibur is what I'm thinking of with Sean Connery. That one's great.
Oh no, Sean Connery is in First Night. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, First Night is a King Arthur thing as well.
Or is he in Excalibur? Is that what I'm thinking of?
No. Patrick Stewart's in Excalibur.
Patrick Stewart is in Excalibur. That's
Yeah,
I've seen like Kevin Costner's attempt at a British accent.
Yeah, that movie's woke.
That movie's something.
Yeah, I know it's not the worst movie ever, but it definitely has issues.
It's not the worst Robin Hood ever made, but it's not the best.
No, it's squarely in the middle.
The best was a parody.
No, I was actually, as far as raw production design, it might be the best. It looks great.
Untitled?
No, the Kevin Costner one.
Oh yeah, no, production wise, it looks fucking beautiful.
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah.
How it looks on screen is great. Story wise, it's absolute garbage.
Yeah, story wise, it's very questionable.
I mean, that's why I say Men in Tights was better.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly just because Robin spoke with a British accent the entire film.
Don't worry, he'll point that out.
Yeah, and he did so well pointing it out.
Unlike some Robin Hoods, I speak for British accent. Cool. Shots fired.
It'd be so hard to accept Carrie Elways as like a villain in movies just because of that movie.
Yeah, true.
I mean, it's so hard to accept it.
Mm-hmm. But
other fantasy movies. That's what
Princess Bride.
Princess Bride. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That's another good one. That's another one that I didn't see when I was a kid. I didn't see that till I was in my 20s.
Mm.
I don't know. Would you consider Dark Crystal?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would consider Labyrinth as well. Yeah. Dark Crystal was always one that I thought like it looked cool, but like I always found boring.
Yeah, it looks cool. It's really boring.
Now Labyrinth, I dig. David Bowie singing songs in a cod piece. How could you say no?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I kind of like those medieval stories too, even the ones that are factual. Like I enjoy those set pieces and how they look on film. I think it's great, and in the sense of like direction and production, it gives like the crew a whole slew of everything else to work with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like that, and I like seeing how it translates to film.
Yeah.
And this is just the same too. Like the production in this was amazing.
Oh yeah, at the time, this might be one of the best produced fantasy movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
It looks great. I was actually shocked at the runtime. It's just barely over 2 hours. And I remember thinking it's got to be like 2.5, right? Because I can think of lots of big events and lots of big set pieces in this movie. And it goes at a very, fairly brisk rate, and it doesn't really feel like it's rushing through anything until the end. The end feels a bit rushed.
No, I will say the ending felt a little rushed.
Yeah.
And just kind of tacked on.
Yeah.
Like I kind of found it interesting that it was just mostly between the two sorcerers and not even Willow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Found that a little interesting, but I still enjoyed like the full set piece, like all of it. It was great.
Well, I do love the final confrontation where like everybody's taking out just Willow versus Bad Morta.
Yeah.
I do like that. It's just one-on-one for them, and he just tricks her because that's what he knows at that moment.
Her,
yeah.
Yep.
The other thing I love the idea of how like they talk about Elora Danan's supposed to bring about Bad Morta's downfall. And essentially, the story the movie tells is that, and the reason why she brings about her downfall is because she gets obsessed with going after her. She brings all these warriors and stuff to her castle, and that's her downfall.
Yeah, and it was her daughter, too, who betrayed her.
Yeah, got her daughter turned against her. Yeah, she brought it on herself. If she had just not listened to that prophecy, she'd probably be in power.
Probably.
But yeah, self-fulfilling prophecy. But yeah, this is a classic in my opinion. I dig it.
No, this was great. This is definitely a great movie.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Anything else you want to add? Or are you ready for wrap up?
I'm ready for wrap up.
Okay. Well, yeah, this is overall a good one. All three of the movies were great. I'm trying to remember what we have lined up for next week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got Avatar. And then...
Well, that'll be a 4-hour watch session.
Yes. That will be, I believe that's... Yep. Yeah, we are just going to do the theatrical one. We're not going to do, like, the direct... Well, there's a director's cut. There's a special extended edition and stuff like that. And it's like, we're doing theatrical. Well, actually, that's the thing. James Cameron came out and said, hey, there's lots of editions of that movie. The director's cut is the theatrical. So,
I love his drive and admiration for pushing boundaries in filmmaking and possibilities of what we can do. But I mean, at some point, dude, just fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we get it. You're an accomplished director.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my God.
Yeah, no.
Man broke his own ego.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing. Like he's done he's done so many classics, just so goddamn many. It's like,
and I hate to shit on someone who I do admire and am inspired by it.
Yeah,
it's just
no. It's one of those things where it's like, he can do it. I wish he wouldn't.
The first time I watched it because I feel that it had way too much hype to it.
Yeah.
Like, way too much hype and didn't live up to the hype.
No. I mean, I think it's a decent movie. I remember enjoying it. But yeah, it's not like the best thing ever.
I also remember, really enjoying it when it was called Dances with Wolves.
Mm-hmm. I liked it when it was called Fern Gully.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Same. Big fucking same. That is an underappreciated gem in the animation archive of Disney. Oh my God.
Well, that one wasn't Disney, was it? I don't think it was Disney. No, I don't think so.
I'm almost certain that was Disney.
Well, maybe Disney bought it later. They are buying everything.
I'm almost positive it was because there was like or some sort of contracts regarding Aladdin towards it on why Williams was in there and what they were originally wanting. Because I think he originally suggested to them to do to cast Eddie Murphy as the voice of Batty.
Mm-hmm.
I believe. I remember hearing that somewhere.
20th Century Fox.
Okay, 20th Century Fox. My mistake.
Mm-hmm. Now that does.
Now it's a Disney property.
Yeah, now it is a Disney movie. So yeah, retroactively it is.
Retroactively it is, but
yeah, we will have to figure out other stuff to watch. But yeah, Avatar definitely next week.
Oh, that's right. Tim Curry isn't Fern Gully.
Yeah, he is. Mm. Mm-hmm.
Man, there's such a talent.
Oh, he's a legend. God,
yeah.
But, yes.
What would you say your favorite line that Tim Curry has ever said on film?
Oh. Oh, it has to be, and make you shiver with anticipation.
Okay. If I had to pick one, it would probably be his character's introduction in the movie Congo, where he's like, Hakama Homoka, formerly of Romania, traveling the world and doing good.
It's been so long since I've seen Congo, I don't even remember. I remember he was in it.
He had this long bit of exposition just to introduce himself.
Yeah.
But, like, he had to add that on the end, traveling the world and doing good.
Mm-hmm. Whenever somebody says they're doing good, you know they are.
And he just gave that big, evil Tim Curry smile.
Yeah.
I just, like, yeah, even as a kid, like, no.
Mm-hmm. That's a bad man.
Yeah, that's a bad man. And I kind of hate the fact that, you know, I go off intuition usually, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, do you remember a while ago, like a number of years ago, when Vladimir Putin's name first started coming back into, like, circulation over in the country? Like, there were photos shared of him shirtless riding a horse.
Yeah.
You remember, and, like, you know, people always going, oh, cool, look at this. This is so cool. This is cool. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I've seen one too many Bond movies growing up, but even then, I'm like, no. People, oh, what? What's wrong, man? I mean, he has a long government history. No. What do you mean by that? Oh, you know, he's been in the government since the KGB. No.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And even with Elon Musk, he's a rich guy from South Africa. Whoa, that is just a bunch of red flags.
Mm-hmm.
Again, maybe I've seen one too many Bond movies, but...
Well, just remember, he could have solved world hunger for $6 billion, but instead he bought Twitter for $44 billion. And his reasoning, because I don't care about world hunger, I just want people to stop making fun of me on the internet.
and don't forget about, you know, and also I just don't think I could trust, you know, a guy who has a toy gun and free Diet Coke.
That was so cringe.
And also that expose on Hunter's laptop.
Yeah.
But again, maybe I've seen one too many Bond movies.
Maybe, but yes. So, well, we'll see everybody next week,
yes.
though.
Yes. And keep your perception up. First impressions are mostly, you know, intuition's a good thing.
Yeah, it is. It's not something to be 100% trusted, but, you know, don't distrust it either. Yeah, no.
A gut feeling's a gut
Sometimes you do just know. Sometimes. But everyone have a good one.
Take care.
They think order and chaos are somehow opposites and try to control what won't be.
Do you enjoy pain?
Pain don't hurt.